Sorry about that, guys. I lost power briefly. I think I'm back up. Please comment and let me know if you're seeing this. I think I'm back up. Everything looks good. Trying to get my stuff back in order. I told you guys, I lose power so easy at this house. We have a severe thunderstorm moving over pretty much where I live. We've got 2 severe thunderstorms now, and we need to talk about both of them. You're back up. I see you. Thank you so much for the comments. So I just want to kind of touch on what we've got going on here. I lost power, had to get everything booted back up. So if I cut out again, it's likely a power loss. So we'll just have to deal with that. We have a severe thunderstorm warning right now, mainly for Sebastian County and parts of southern Crawford and Franklin. And this is moving from Hackett to Greenwood now. There's likely some hail in there. Right now, I don't think the tornado risk is imminent with this. There's no tornado warning, but it's going to be noisy. It's going to be loud. There's going to be a lot of thunder. Skies probably look pretty creepy. And then we have another severe thunderstorm warning in northwest Arkansas. This storm I've been watching for quite a while, and it is going through a strengthening phase, if you ask me. It's moving out of Springdale, Rogers, Lowell, and moving off to the east-northeast towards Eureka Springs, Beaver, Berryville, Oak Grove, and Blue Eye. So it's going to continue off to the north, Madison and Carroll counties. It's leaving Washington right now, and more so in eastern Benton counties. So we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings to watch. I feel like we're kind of just getting started really right now. We've got 2 main storms to watch. If you're just now tuning in, obviously the talk around the state is significant severe weather today. And most of that is stemming to the very high tornado risk in central and eastern Arkansas later this afternoon. It's right at 11 o'clock now. And this is, if you ask me, we're kind of at the start of the show per se. I don't mean to sound dramatic, but this part of the state, eastern Arkansas, central Arkansas, parts of southern Arkansas, later today, later this afternoon, I think our peak severe weather window might be from 2 to 6, 3 to 6, 3 to 7, kind of in that mid to late afternoon time frame. And then, as you know, the storms will continue off into eastern Arkansas and so on. But these storms in western Arkansas have really got their act together over the last 20 to 30 minutes. The tornado risk in this part of the state isn't as high, but it's not zero. So I don't want to confuse anyone with that. I'm going to go out of Springfield real quick and see what it looks like on this radar. I really hope I don't lose power again. This storm might have some tornado potential soon. The one in northern Arkansas. I'm going to pull up my county map here. Oh, that's like way too bright. You guys might hear thunder in the background. It's thundering quite a bit here at the house. I live in western Arkansas, so... So, as I stated earlier, parts of northern Madison County is included in this warning. Western sections of Carroll County as well. Places like Eureka Springs, Beaver, Berryville, Oak Grove. And this storm just kind of has that look. This looks like a supercell. So we'll see what the National Weather Service does with that storm. And then, of course, we got our storm down here near Fort Smith. This is our other severe thunderstorm warning to watch. This storm is really close to the radar site. The circle that you see here is where the radar actually is. So this storm is passing over the radar site. It's about to pass through Greenwood. It's going through Barling right now in Lavaca. Probably pretty noisy. A lot of rain, lightning. No tornado threat imminent. So good news there. We do have some more stuff to the south. And then stuff, goes all the way down into southeast Oklahoma. So we'll have to watch that for southwest Arkansas. See how those storms end up evolving. But really only two problem makers right now. Oh, I see. Okay, 1 second. Sorry guys, I lost power, so it's messed my screens all up. Give me just a second. Okay, I'm going to try to fix this real quick. I just need to get the video display to change to my other screen. I've got a couple screens here. It's never easy. It's really storming outside my house. I know you can't see, brother. I'm trying to fix it. Give me just a second. I think I got it fixed here. There we go. Sorry, guys. I got it fixed. Okay. I'm really sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize that. I'm so glad you guys are commenting because I didn't realize that the screens were filtered off. So just to go back over that real quick, sorry. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued out to include more of Franklin County. That includes Ozark, Mulberry. It does include Mountainburg, so other sections of Crawford County as well. And this goes off into northern areas of Franklin County and a small sliver of southeastern Madison County. And then we have the severe thunderstorm warning here in northern Arkansas. It includes Washington County, but they probably will cut that off soon. Southeastern Benton County, it includes a large section of Carroll County, at least the northwestern half, and far northern sections of Madison County. This storm in northern Arkansas, to me, I feel like it has a little bit more tornado potential in the short term. There's no tornado warning. You can see that it looks like we do have a circulation here right at the intersection of Washington, Benton, Madison, and Carroll counties. So no tornado warning for now. We'll see what the National Weather Service does with that. But if you're in Eureka Springs, if you live in northwestern sections of Carroll County in general, so from Berryville up to Beaver, Eureka Springs, I'm trying to remember that highway name. I would watch this storm closely. I'll pull my map back up. Sorry, guys. I'm just a mess right now. There we go. My plan today is to just come in and out with live coverage as needed. And if that means for 7 hours or an hour, we'll do whatever we have to do. But I feel like for now, probably need to stay alive, stay on these storms, even though we don't have tornado warnings. Pull my maps up here. Highway 62. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I thought. So just to kind of reset, for those of you who are just now joining back in, we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings right now in western Arkansas. Nothing else going on in the state. If you don't live in western Arkansas, you're good for now. You'll have severe weather risk likely later. So we have one up near Eureka Springs. We have one near Fort Smith, Greenwood, Charleston. The one here near Greenwood, Charleston, Barling, and Lavaca, for the moment, it is a severe thunderstorm warning storm, but it's really just noisy. I don't know if we have large hail in this. I think earlier there might have been some hail southwest of Hackett, but to me, it looks like it's mostly just a noisy storm with maybe some stronger wind gust. The tornado risk with the storm to the north seems a little bit more apparent right now. I think this one's actually trying to spin a little bit. They've trimmed the warning polygon off, so Washington County is no longer included. It's just southeastern Benton County, northern Madison, and northwestern Carroll County. If you live, well, we'll just go over to the map and we'll call out a little bit more specific so everybody knows. So Highway 62 runs from Eureka Springs all the way up to Gateway, and then it goes all the way back down to like Garfield, Brightwater, and so on. This circulation, if it does continue, if we do have any tornado problems down the road, could head right for Eureka Springs. So obviously you've got the Highway 23 intersection at Eureka Springs. 23 keeps going all the way up towards Holiday Island. If you live anywhere near Eureka Springs, just know that the center focus of this storm does have what appears to be a circulation, and it could produce a tornado warning if it doesn't go away. So just trying to get people to plan ahead. These storms are going to be moving quick today, and probably probably don't want to mess with this one. I feel like this is the most impressive storm we've had all morning as far as tornado potential goes. Really raining outside my house right now. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it is storming like crazy. I live in western Arkansas, so I'm getting my round now. Hopefully this is it for the day so I don't lose power again. This storm's definitely trying to spin. Yeah, I mean... We're still inching closer to Eureka Springs. Highway 62 from Berryville over to Eureka Springs. Pleasant Valley. If you know anyone who's going to be traveling soon from Eureka to Berryville, you might give them a call and let them know that a strong thunderstorm is moving into the area. Probably not safe to be driving in. And then I don't want to leave out Fort Smith, western Arkansas. We have a severe thunderstorm warning down here as well that we need to talk about. Looks like the bulk of this is moving to Greenwood now. I can hear it outside in Lavaca. Not quite over to Charleston just yet, but it looks like it's going to be crossing over 22 fairly soon. And then it's going to continue off to the northeast toward the direction of I-40. So from Alma over to Ozark, Altus. Once again, don't see anything necessarily imminent as far as tornado concern for the storm near Fort Smith, Lavaca, Greenwood, and Charleston. More so with the storm up north. The National Weather Service has went ahead and issued a downstream severe thunderstorm warning into Missouri. No tornado warning still. Man. Yeah, Ozark is included in the latest severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, down south. South of this storm, obviously. But this storm, the bulk of it's moving through Eureka Springs now. There could be some hail in this storm as well, along with circulation. There is no tornado warning, but certainly seemed as if this storm was trying to spin a little bit. And these are the only two severe thunderstorm warnings in the state. We'll do a quick reset real quick. Flooding is definitely a concern this week. Yeah, we could have some major flooding issues if storms continue to train over the same areas. So a lot of people, still asking about timing. What about fill in the blank where I live? What's the timing? Well, it is 11 a.m. now on Wednesday, April 2nd. There's nothing going on in this part of the state right now. All of the actions in western Arkansas. Really, I'm really happy with the forecast right now because I said yesterday around 11 to 1 was western Arkansas's time to watch. And here we are at 11 a.m. and that's what's happening. I think central Arkansas storms move in by mid-afternoon. Perhaps the 2 to 5 p.m. time frame, general rough guidance. And then from eastern Arkansas, it might be a little bit later, so 4 to 7 p.m., kind of in that time frame. Guys, it just depends on how things evolve here and move east. So will we have, what kind of development will we have? What does our storm mode look like? How fast are storms moving? There's some wild cards in this today on how this just all goes down. And the tornado risk today is pretty high, higher than usual, level 5 of 5 for parts of central and eastern Arkansas. So kind of a rare day when it comes to severe weather. Today's one of those days where you really have to watch the weather, especially if you live in the areas we just talked about. The entire state of Arkansas has a severe weather risk technically, but it's certainly much higher in central and eastern, northeastern Arkansas later today. So hopefully that answers your questions. Someone was asking about Maumelle and Jacksonville and Brinkley and Newport. You're good for now. You have a few hours at least before stuff gets to you. So no imminent concerns. If you have something you need to go do it now. That way you can get home later, not worry about it. But if you're in western Arkansas, obviously a little bit different story. You've got storms on you now, and then storms up here to the north and northwest Arkansas too. I'm curious. I'm wondering if the bulk of northwest Arkansas, this will be it for you as activity moves off to the east. I think that's possible, along with Fort Smith and so on. I'm hoping that Fort Smith and areas nearby, this is our round, and it just goes off to the east. And guys, I've seen the Facebook post. I've had a few people send it to me from, I don't know who that is on Facebook, talking about a Torcon level 7, never seen it in Arkansas, scared to death. Folks, the Torcon is a forecast. That's from the Weather Channel. It's a TV station thing. That's not an official forecast from the National Weather Service. I want to make that clear. We have had severe weather risk like this. We had last month on March 14th. We had a very high tornado risk. A few years ago in March 2023, we had a high risk with significant tornadoes. Don't let people use dramatizations to scare you extra today than you already are. I'm not trying to call anyone out. It just looked like a personal profile, not a weather source or anything. So I just want to make that clear. If you're watching this, I've seen the post. It's just, to me, it looks like a bunch of nonsense. I've had a few people comment about it, so. But really watching this storm up by Eureka Springs, moving towards the Missouri state line. Eventually, we're going to hand this off to Missouri within the next 20 to 30 minutes. Even that, this storm's moving pretty quick. And it'll be out of our hair. And we can hand it off to Missouri to deal with. Still looks like there might be some rotation there, but it looks pretty broad. I can understand why the National Weather Service hasn't issued any tornado warnings for something like that. And then I'm just not seeing a whole lot of rotation down south on the storms near Fort Smith. These storms look messy. Good. We like messy. We like messy storms. They can be noisy. There can be a lot of rain. It can be loud. But when things get real organized, this storm earlier, whenever it was to the southwest, down near McAllister, Savannah, Kiowa, and so on, it was very organized and by itself, and that had me kind of nervous for a little bit. But since then, it looks like it's disorganized some. Still a severe thunderstorm warning, so there could be some hail in there, quite a bit of rain, and gusty winds. Dalton, no, I can't guarantee Russellville will be clear today, brother. You've got storms to your west here, more development to the southwest. I really can't tell anybody in the entire state, you're clear for the day. Today's not one of those days where I can do that because storms could kind of occur at random as stuff initiates and tracks east. So I want hail. I haven't had it in 3 years. Sorry, Greg. Can't help you, buddy. Yeah, so you're living near Clarksville. You're not under a severe thunderstorm warning north of Clarksville, but you do have strong storms to your west off of I-40 down near Charleston, Ozark, and Mulberry. And those could move towards you soon, especially the southern end. You've got this area down near Greenwood and Charleston that eventually could impact Clarksville. Dalton, today's probably not a good day to golf. I actually just got off the phone with a friend of mine who just witnessed one of his friends get struck by lightning near Fort Smith. And he was fine. He was in some heavy equipment, and it struck the heavy equipment. So I wouldn't mess with the storms today. Absolutely, Brianna. I'm here to help, not here to scare you. So tired of people scaring people on social media. It's annoying. It's just getting ridiculous. And guys, I know that the feed says Arkansas tornado coverage. We don't have any tornado warnings right now. I just have that title up because we're eventually going to have tornado warnings today. I don't want to change it back and forth every single time. We'll probably stick with this for a little while. I might end up doing several live feeds today. I usually only do one. I don't like going back and forth, but we've had a couple of storms today where I wanted to pop in and talk and whatnot. I think the biggest issues is going to be here in a few hours is these storms. Eventually, this activity here is going to congeal probably, and we're going to really get underway in this part of the state. If you live east of that line, that's probably where our problems are going to be today. Of course, can't guarantee any one person a storm or a tornado, but I feel like the tornado odds are a lot higher in that part of the state. We can go over it real quick while we don't have any tornado warnings. I can go over it with you guys real quick like. So, this is what our severe weather risk looks like today. So obviously every county in Arkansas is under a severe weather risk. Obviously it's lower here in western Arkansas and much higher in eastern Arkansas. So once you really get down, let's say you hit Fort Smith and you hit I-40 and you're heading on a road trip to Little Rock. The closer you get to Little Rock, your severe weather risk slowly increases over time. And once you hit Little Rock, it's really starting to increase. If you hit 40 east of Little Rock, like you're going to Memphis, your severe weather risk goes from, kind of like a medium risk to a high risk quick. And that's literally what it's called. It's a high risk. It's a level 5 of 5. These are somewhat rare. We don't really get them every year. We get them sometimes, maybe once or twice a year at most. Our last high risk in Arkansas was in March of 2023, the day of the Little Rock and wind tornadoes. So obviously not something that we get all the time, but this is a tornado-emphasized risk today as well. So if everything goes to plan and storms behave like we think they will, there could be some significant tornadoes, possibly violent tornadoes. Obviously, terminology and wording that I don't use often, only in certain situations, such as this. I know a lot of you, what about me? What about me? What about me? This map is fantastic because, it literally highlights areas. So if you live near Jonesboro, your severe weather risk is high today. If you live near Batesville, your severe weather risk is high today. Little Rock, Pine Bluff, El Dorado, West Memphis, Brinkley, Forest City, Arkadelphia. If you live south of Conway, if you live in Conway, if you live near Hot Springs, your tornado risk, severe weather risk in general, is elevated today. Really concerned about this afternoon and this evening. I feel like Arkansas sometimes screws up severe weather setups by having morning activity, like in central and eastern Arkansas, where we have storms move through and it kind of ruins the atmosphere. We don't have that. We've had nothing today. And I was looking at it just a second ago. I'll check it again to make sure something hasn't magically changed. I don't think it has. Folks, the entire state of Arkansas, outside of western Arkansas where storms are ongoing, we have instability values 2,000, 3,000. That's like way more than enough needed for fuel to support thunderstorms. So when you have storms and rain in the morning in areas where you're supposed to get storms later in the day, sometimes it's a wild card because that rain can cool the atmosphere, kind of chill stuff out a little bit. We just haven't had it. This part of the state, we had nothing. And generally on days like today, when you're expecting significant severe weather, if the sun comes out, that's a bad sign because it's heating up that atmosphere. But we didn't have like cold last night. It's warm today. Looking at the temps, guys, it's 80 degrees in Little Rock right now, and it's not even noon. It's 79 down in Arkadelphia, 81 in Monticello, 80 in Pine Bluff. We're plenty warm enough now. And the dew points, 67, 64, 68, 65. If the sun was to come out That actually, I'm not going to say it'll help us today, but it might kind of throw a wrench in things because of what we call mixing, where the dew point spreads, the temperature spreads can kind of get a little wacky. Honestly, right now, the way we're setting with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s and a few 80-degree readings, man, it's just too perfect. Like, we got to have something throw a wrench in this. We need storms to get too messy. We need the timing. We need storms to like speed up. I guess I don't even know if that would necessarily negate it. I'm trying to think of failure modes to kind of prevent this from going big today. And I think for me, just my personal opinion, these storms in western Arkansas weren't expected to do a whole lot. They've kind of been noisy, maybe produce some hail at times, not real big. We haven't had any tornado warnings. That was kind of expected. But I'm telling you, I truly believe that once these storms get closer to central Arkansas and eastern Arkansas, they're going to go from, not doing a whole lot to doing a lot of something real quick. That's my concern. So we have a few hours. We still have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing. This one in North Arkansas is about to skip into Missouri and head off towards Branson and away from our life forever. And then we have this hunk of mess down here near Charleston up to Mulberry. There's still severe thunderstorm warnings on it. I'm guessing maybe due to wind potential. Doesn't look like anything too crazy, guys. Probably not a whole lot of fun if you're driving down I-40 right now from east to west or whatever it might be. Driving on I-40 is never fun if we're being honest. But I'm not seeing a whole lot of issues out of this Charleston and Mulberry and Ozark storm. Nothing, no tornado warnings or circulations. Probably getting noisy again there south of Fort Smith over to Hackett, Barling, Greenwood as the back end of this moves through. Hopefully this is the last for us. I do see a little bit of pop-up behind it, but yeah, I'm worried about the school pickup today. That's something that I've thought about a lot, especially in central Arkansas. People calling me while I'm live. If you hear the noise in the background, my son, it sounds like he's in there rearranging our living room furniture. I'm worried about the school pickup stuff today. If storms move into central Arkansas between that 2 to 4 p.m. time frame, a lot of people out on the roads picking kids up from school, trying to get home and going to and from work stuff. Like, I'm hoping for the best. Yeah, Julie, we just talked about Cave City area. We talked about that region. There's a higher severe weather risk today. Monticello's in a higher severe weather risk today. Kelly said, can we watch you on the TV? If you have a smart TV, you should be able to cast me off YouTube. You can do it off Facebook. I'm live on Twitter too. You should be able to cast me. He's being a kid. That's funny. I'm seeing a lot of people saying that people are school districts are letting out early today, which is just great news. I'm happy to see that school administrations are doing that. I feel like that's a good move. Get kids home so they can stay home. Brittany, I haven't seen anything about a tornado touchdown in that area. Not yet, at least. So I'm going to show you guys what the radar might look like later today. We have no tornado warnings on radar, so I'm good to kind of hop off that for a second and show you what... I've got a lot of people asking me, like, can you show us radar? Let me pull it up real quick and I'll show you. Hopefully this can help settle some concern or questions about the timing. I know a lot of people are trying to plan and what to expect. So this is a high resolution rapid refresh model. It's called the HRRR. Sometimes, guys, it can be really good. Sometimes it can be pretty bad. But whenever it comes to the highest resolution we have available, I feel like it does a good job of at least giving us an idea. Okay, so this is, I've got it on 14Z. So the latest run, this is it's trying to model what we're dealing with now. And as you can see, as we go through the early afternoon, this is around, we'll just say from noon to 2 p.m. Probably not a ton going on, but this is going to change as we go through the afternoon. So between 2, 3, and 4 p.m., look how things really start to just pop between that 3 to 5 p.m. hour, 2 to 4 p.m. hour. I mean, it's like we go from 0 to 100 in an instant. And I think that's the concern today, is that storms are just going to kind of go boom. And these storms are going to continue off to the east, probably in central Arkansas, 4 to 7 p.m. Now, this model, I will say, looks messy. I know that it kind of looks scary on the picture because of all the purple, red, and whatnot. But that, to me, looks like a messier storm mode, which I think could help us. But on the flip side, there's always the potential that the dynamics of this system are strong enough where it just doesn't matter. And we still get embedded circulations, strong tornadoes, fast-moving rain-wrapped tornadoes. So it's pivotal on a day like today. If you get warnings and you're at home or at work or driving the subway, whatever you're doing, if you get a warning on your phone, take it serious and take shelter and let the storm pass, because storms could be moving very fast, rain-wrapped. You're not going to see the tornadoes likely. And this continues into the evening hours. So as it moves out of central Arkansas and into eastern Arkansas, this is kind of like that, I think that 7 to 9 p.m. window. I feel like we're really underway in eastern Arkansas and in southern Arkansas as well. Whereas if you live west of Little Rock this evening, if you have plans this evening, you're probably good to go. Most of the activity is well off to your east by that time. And once again, storm mode kind of looks a little bit messy, doesn't it? Whenever we look at the tornado parameters, this is kind of concerning. That's around 3, we'll just say 2 to 4 p.m. Storm mode looks a little bit more isolated. We'll have to watch that closely. This is tornado parameters. And these tornado parameters really maximize later this evening, especially east of Little Rock, south of Little Rock, up to Jonesboro. So if storms are able to take advantage of the environment at hand, which is exactly where that high risk and moderate risk is, that's where the biggest issue should be. So hopefully that answered your guys' questions about timing. Afternoon and evening is the biggest concern, especially in central and eastern Arkansas. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous about the tornado potential later today in central and eastern Arkansas. I think it's one of those things where storms are kind of just, they're probably going to do whatever the heck they want. We have new severe thunderstorm warning to talk about. Haley, oh my gosh. That's crazy. Yeah, tell her to switch over. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that includes Paris, Coal Hill, Clarksville, and Knoxville. So parts of Logan County and Johnson County. This is once again for a stronger wind gust, maybe some hail. I don't see a whole lot. Don't see any risk for tornadoes at this current time. No tornado warnings. And then the storm we were talking about earlier, guys, we have handed that off to Missouri. So Missouri, sorry about you. You can have that one. We're done with it. So we only really have this storm to talk about right now. The one near Clarksville, Mulberry and Ozark. going to show you guys something that I don't typically show because I have reservations about it sometimes, but I mean, it's the day of. So this is the CSU MLP Day 1 tornado probability forecast. And what we're looking at here is, it's basically simulated guidance, best guess on where the highest tornado probabilities for the day are. And there's a max highlight probability in eastern Arkansas, central Arkansas, southern Arkansas. You've got the hatch region, the black dot, and then the pink shading. From my experience doing this, we generally only see this sort of output on the highest end tornado days. I know that sounds kind of scary, and I can understand if it is, but on a day like today, it makes sense given the parameter space that we're dealing with. So that's kind of the focus point for today. I feel like I can talk about it until I'm blue in the face, but I'm just kind of trying to add what models and tools that I have available to show you to help better explain. So, I mean, obviously, just to kind of make it even simpler, if you live in Northwest Arkansas, you can see the probabilities are much lower. That's what we've seen today. We haven't had any tornado warnings or problems in Western or Northwest Arkansas. But later today, when storms move into Central and Eastern Arkansas, I think it's going to be a different story. A much different story. And I hope this is wrong. Or it's going to be a very long afternoon and evening for us here. So, sorry, trying to exit off this. Flooding is going to be an issue this week too, folks. I'm seeing a lot of people comment about flooding for good reason. With some areas, I think, could easily get well up to 10 inches of rain by the time Sunday rolls around, because we have storm chances today. We have storm chances tomorrow. We have storm chances on Friday, Saturday. And then Sunday, we have a stronger front move through, and it's going to cool us down. It'll be kind of cold on Sunday. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning to talk about, and this includes... Let me get my info up. So this includes regions of Newton County, western sections of Searcy County, and southern sections of Boone County, along with northern sections of Johnson County. And it's for this storm right here. That one. I know that this part of the state is fairly rural, but people do live up here near Jasper and near Western Grove. Obviously, we have highways that stretch throughout. They're south of Jasper. And these storms are going to move off to the northeast, and there could be some hail in it. I think that's why the severe thunderstorm warning was issued. So just a heads up there. So we technically have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings right now in the state of Arkansas, and it's these 3 polygons here. If you're in Ozark right now, it's probably pretty noisy. Ozark, down to Coxville, Altus. Eventually, it's going to be in Coal Hill and Clarksville. Settling over I-40 right now. I kind of wonder if we have an iDrive cam that we can look at there. I just need to keep iDrive up. I look at iDrive a lot on severe weather days. My computer is just acting ridiculous right now. So this is what the conditions look like right now on I-40. There's the travel stop back there in the background. Looks like it looks like traffic is moving okay for now. Just quite a bit of rain. I'm not seeing just a ton of hail out of this storm right now. But if you're traveling down I-40, you're likely going to encounter those storms between Clarksville, like you're going to Alma. So just a heads up. Pull my drive tab back over here. And they have canceled the severe thunderstorm warning up north, guys. Holly says, is today the only day considered high risk? For now, yes. But I do think that we could have a substantial tornado risk tomorrow, especially south of I-40. So, yeah, they canceled the warning up in Carroll, Madison counties. That's moving off into southwest Missouri near Branson. So that's out of our hair for the moment. But unfortunately, we do have more storms that are forming here in southeast Oklahoma, which will eventually impact southwest Arkansas. And that's probably, if I had to guess, this is likely the beginning of our problems later. So we still have a ways to go. We got plenty of time. If you're in Little Rock, if you're in Arkadelphia, Pine Bluff, Searcy, if you live in Wynn, Des Arc, Jonesboro, if you've got some errands you need to run, you can go do those now. If you need to run, get you some lunch or whatever it might be, I would do that stuff now so you can be home for this afternoon and evening and not be driving around. Obviously, some of you are probably at work. Some of you might have church tonight. Adjust your plans accordingly because severe weather, possibly significant severe weather, is possible. It's moving east, northeast. The activity itself is going to be moving east-northeast today. So the general flow of everything will be easterly, but you can see storms kind of have a northeasterly component as the system shifts east. I can't guarantee, Jason, I can't say Hot Springs is going to get a tornado. Like, I can't guarantee you a specific spot on a map. But I can tell you that there is a risk today in Hot Springs and in Garland County for severe weather, possibly significant. So that's just kind of how we have to roll on days like today where we have storms that are going to be moving to the east. Or excuse me, that are just going to kind of sweep from west to east. I can kind of tell you the higher tornado risk where it exists, but I can't give anyone, an exact. We don't have that capability yet. Maybe one day, but not right now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop off and I'm going to end this stream. Folks, all we're dealing with right now are just some severe thunderstorms here. These are hailers. They're noisy. The tornado risk is somewhat low for the time being. That could change here in a few, but for now, these are hailers. I think we're going to be okay. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to get some lunch, hydrate up, and get a few things done here in the house because I have a feeling that here in a few hours, once we start going, we probably won't stop until late tonight. So that's probably the best course of action for me. I feel like we've covered everything from A to Z. I've got a ton of updates on my Facebook. We've done a lot of updates on here. I've got stuff on my Twitter account, X, whatever you want to call it. So big thank you to Autoplex Collision Repair and Jam Mart for sponsoring my feeds so far today. They're great partners of mine. Couldn't do this without them. So I'm going to end the stream, go get some clean cooking, eat some lunch, and then I'll be back on live probably here in the next couple of hours because I can already tell that this